The U.S. government carried out the second federal execution this week, taking the life of Wesley Ira Purkey, who was convicted of killing a 16-year-old girl back in the 1990s and also killing an 80-year-old woman who had polio in Kansas City. The curtain was raised in the execution chamber shortly before 8 a.m. Thursday morning. Mr. Purkey was already strapped to the gurney. His body was completely covered with a light blue blanket. His arms were strapped to the sides. An IV was inserted in his right arm. And he was asked if he would make a final statement. Mr. Purkey acknowledged his remorse to the family of the victim who he killed, a 16-year-old Jennifer Long. He also expressed remorse to his daughter, who he called the victim in all of this. Mr. Purkey also called his execution a sanitized murder and said there was no reason whatsoever that it should go forward. Several minutes after the lethal injection, Mr. Purkey appeared to stop breathing. His chest stopped moving up and down. His mouth opened slightly and his lips turned blue. Several minutes later, he lied there motionless, and the Bureau of Prisons declared he was dead. The father and stepmother of the victim, Jennifer Long, had attended the execution. They waited almost 4 hours in a van outside of the execution chamber while Mr. Purkey's appeals were being litigated in the court. Afterwards, they spoke to the media. Mr. Long said that he had waited 17 years to see this day happen. He had been waiting for justice all this time.